Why do you care?
Honestly, I didn't care before October 7th. I mean, or didn't care. I thought that this is like the Palestine-Israeli conflict is a chronic conflict, and it's never going to happen, because even the Arab states are not even like supporting Palestine. They're all, most of them are complicit. There's no point. But after October 7th, and when I started to educate myself, as I told you, my knowledge was below average. And I said, like, how is this happening? This is beyond human. And you know, some of the things that's happening, people don't talk about. Like, we talk about humans, but we don't talk about land. There's two things I want to talk about: environment and agriculture. Right now, because of what's happening in Gaza, the environment in Gaza is, I think one of the things that Israel is trying to do is making Gaza totally uninhabitable by humans. There is so much asbestos and so much heavy metals, and you can see that the air on Gaza is different. The way that they have, like, they bombed in, like, the amount of bombs they bombed in 6 days, more than America bombed in 1 year on, I think, on Iraq. It's crazy. So all of that bombs and all of that nitrate and all of that white phosphorus and all of that actually, Gaza now is really unlivable. It makes it impossible for people to come back. But before that, remember how Israel is promoting itself all around the world as, like, they're making the desert bloom, we have the best. They don't tell you that they use the Palestinian land as a dumping ground. All of the sewage, all of this, they dump it into the Palestinians. Palestinians are not allowed to have any agricultural land outside of Area C, which is the most fertile in all of the West Bank. Palestinians are not allowed to dig for wells. They're not allowed to dig to expand their wells. They're not allowed, even if they would put rain cisterns to collect rainwater, it's being removed by the occupation. Not even allowed to collect rainwater. And there is, like, a very interesting story. Have you ever heard about the only Palestinian mushroom farm?
No.
It's called the Amoro Mushroom Farm. It was 10 years ago. There was no mushrooms other than Israeli mushrooms. It was the white-capped mushroom. It's edible. It's not that kind of mushroom.
It's not that kind of mushroom. Let's just clarify.
It's good white-capped mushroom, and there was no Palestinian. Only Israeli mushrooms. And then a group of Palestinians, and they were actually tech engineers. They didn't know anything of farm. They taught themselves how to farm. They had to revive ancient methods to collect water and to agriculture, and they started to actually do this mushroom farms. And they from one farm they had more than 30 or 40% of the market. So what did the Israelis do? They started to hold their spore shipments from the Netherlands, the one that they used to plant them, in their ports in the Ashdod port, and they would put them for month and month and month and month, crippling the business. So there's a ways of occupation other than there's the brutality, there's the killing, there's the taking of the land, but there's other ways. They are destroying the land. They are removing any kind of hope for those people to be in the land. Do you know, of course, about the black goat?
No.
The black goats is indigenous for Palestinian land, and it is just like made for this kind of environment. And in 1950s, they banned black goats. And then a few years ago, if you remember, there was like huge wildfires in Palestine because those white goats are not equipped to eat the dry leaves. So they started to, okay, we can allow you to have black goat again. They, as a matter of fact, they had to prevent Palestinians to get za'atar, to collect za'atar. It's wild, and they started to actually have people that have za'atar to give them more fines. So all of these little, not even microaggressions, these are macroaggressions. They are actually making Palestinians' life unlivable in this place. We don't talk about that because there's so much killing and so much atrocities. We even don't talk about what they do in the land.
You're right. In any other conflict, we would be focusing on that. But as you say, it's kind of list item number 17.
Maybe if
on
you
the
talk
list
to
of
the West
atrocities.
about the environment, maybe they would listen.
No, because look what's happened. Look what's happened to Greta Thunberg when she's spoken out in Palestine. Suddenly, nobody supports her climate change activism.